By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Wow, too fast. Slow down. This sounds like something that I want to be able to do. And before then, I didn't think it was possible. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things I do year-round to stay in shape the entire year. Okay, so before I get started, I'm going to expose myself real quick. My room is an absolute mess. I traveled this weekend, so yeah, I just didn't really have time to put things together. And I hate having a messy space because if my space isn't clean, then I feel like I can't think clearly. So I'm going to put together my room and hopefully get some mental clarity so that I can actually get some work done today. Okay, so room's coming together. But yeah, I wanted to put you on. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dossier. This is not sponsored. This is just trying to put y'all on. It's just basically dupes of expensive colognes. So if you're not trying to spend $200, $300, $400 or whatever on a super expensive cologne, you could just get this joint. It's $40-$50 on their site, Dossier. So this is a dupe of the Creed Aventus, I believe. And people be thinking I'm wearing Creed. It's funny. I was at work one day and one dude was like, yo, I think I smell like Creed Aventus. Who has that joint on? I was like, it's me, bro, but it's a dupe. And he was like, wow, that smells very accurate. So yeah, if you guys are into cologne and stuff and want to find cheaper alternatives, definitely check it out. All right, so compared to this morning, definitely a lot better. I could definitely think a lot clearer. That's a success. Even this table's a little more clear. All right, cool. Now I can actually get some work done today. Okay, so today I also got to take back some stuff on Amazon that I got. I got these water bottles, man. So first, I got it in black. I have the black version of this. But yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't want the black color, so I wanted to get a different color. So I got this joint. And look at that. It's dented. So yeah, I gotta send this back. So I gotta do today. Then I also gotta return these pants that I got at Zara. I thought I would like them more than I did, but now I wore them. I just don't think I'm a white pants type of guy. I'll wear them every once in a while, but nah, I just don't think it's for me, to be honest. I'll get there one day, maybe. Okay, guys, so the first tip that I have to stay in shape year round, which is an idea that I at first didn't think was possible until I read this book that I think I told you guys about, Master the Day by Alexander Haney. I read this book right when I started working out, and he also had a YouTube channel, and he was the first person that gave me the idea that I could stay in shape year round, because before that I thought that was just impossible. He specifically said that he kept a 6-pack year round and was consistent in the gym year round. I was like, this sounds like something that I want to be able to do. And before then, I didn't think it was possible. But anyways, first thing I'm going to say is that you have to know your weight. It's just so easy to lose track of your weight if it's not something that you're actively tracking and something that you know what it is every day. So how I do that is I just have a weight scale. I went on Amazon. It was $10-15, and I put it in my bathroom. And in the morning, it's just become part of my routine to just step on the scale and see how much I weigh. And it's really interesting because you think that your weight doesn't change that much, but once you start tracking it, you'll start to realize the trends in your weight. So a month ago, I was clocking 198, 200, and now recently, so we did a fast at my church last month. I think my body is still recovering from that, but I've been around 190 to 191. Some days after I finish a full day of eating, I'll be at 194, but then the next morning I'll go back to 191. I wouldn't even know that information if I wasn't tracking my weight. So definitely something that you have to do just to make sure that you're on track in terms of your goals, whether that's if you're gaining too much weight and you need to dial back, or if you're not gaining enough weight and you need to dial it up. I'm not a really big proponent for tracking calories, and I do track protein, but other things I feel can just make health less fun. Like I said, this is something I want to do long term, and if there are aspects of it that are just too tedious and I don't find enjoyable, I just don't see myself doing that long term. So I don't know why I would stress myself out with that, but this is an easy way for me to kind of have a gauge of where I'm falling in terms of my dieting and nutrition and things like that. And then also I'll say that I'll find that if I'm on creatine, I obviously will weigh more, and that really has a big influence on like my weight. So like a couple months ago, earlier in the year, I was really consistent with my creatine. Like I was consuming it every single day. But like recently, I just really haven't had that desire. Kind of just fell off of that. So I have it a lot less consistently. And because of that, I can see a direct influence in my weight. Like I just like weigh less, and then also like my muscles don't look as full, which is something like I'm fine with at the moment. Eventually, like I'll get back on that wagon and be a little more consistent. But that's definitely step one. Buy a weight scale, go on Amazon, get it right now, put it in your bathroom, and just get into the habit of weighing yourself regularly. Doesn't have to be every day, but at least a couple times a week. Okay guys, so just gonna go on a little field trip and return these like Amazon bottles and Zara stuff that I was telling you guys about. So I have this little scooter that I used to get around, and it's been so convenient, like it's so clutch. Like instead of walking everywhere, like or driving and like having to pay for parking, I just zoom this little guy around. I can get things done like super quick. So yeah, I'll bring you guys along and we'll get this done. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna like film, hold this bag, hold this camera, and also ride this scooter without dying. Like what? All right, let's see how it goes. Let's try it out and see how it goes. So we made it downstairs. It's actually like a beautiful day outside. Like it's like sunny, but also not hot. It's like warm and the air is clear. But yeah, guys, pray for me. Start this journey. All right, so far so good. So far so good. We'll just have to go slow and steady. I almost died there. It was completely my fault. This is reckless, but it's also kind of fun. Wow, too fast. Slow down. All right, so we'll go to Zara first because it's on the way. Return these pants, man. I hope I have the receipt. Hold up. I have no idea if I have the receipt. Dang. Wow, that's also bad driving. Bumpy. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so my problem with coming with Zara is that they always have such nice stuff, bro. I feel like I'm gonna buy something. Nah, I'm not gonna buy nothing. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna close my eyes and just go home. I'm not buying anything. I gotta stop, bro. I'm a Zara warrior. I need to stop. I do not have the receipt. I came all the way here, bro, and don't have the receipt. So that's a big L. I didn't have the receipt, so I came all the way here, risked my life for wearing nothing. But yeah, I might just keep the pants. I might just have to keep the pants. Like, I'm gonna just keep them. I guess I'm wearing white pants now. If y'all have any tips on like rocking white pants, let me know how to make it look not terrible. But yeah, so let's go to Amazon and return these bottles. So these are the water bottles. Should I just get it here, bite the bullet? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like $10 more expensive than. I'm gonna just get it here, bro. I don't wanna order that joint and be waiting again. Yeah, I'm gonna just get it here. It's a big water bottle, though. Cool. Okay, so another thing that I do to stay in shape year-round is that I try to eat clean 80% of the time. So what that looks like for me is during the week, I'll try to eat clean throughout the weekday. So 5 out of 7 days that I'm at work, I'll try to be eating clean. Then on the weekends, I'll allow myself to eat out and kind of just like eat what I want to eat. Whether that's like fast food or like restaurants or just things where like I'm not as confident in terms of like the what's in the meal. And like I just give myself a little more leeway in what I'm eating. And I think that the benefit to this is that you don't want to be too strict with your diet and also just your lifestyle, because I think that if you want to do this thing long term, that if you're too strict, then you won't be able to sustain it. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people, and that's a trap that they fall into, is that they try to be too strict in the beginning, and then after like a couple months or a couple weeks, they find that it's not sustainable, so they stop doing it and then they give up altogether. I think that like this whole health thing is like too hard to sustain. So I think starting off, you should give yourself some leeway and know that like you're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. The caveat is that you have to make sure that you're balancing it out. Like you're not overindulging. Like don't let your cheat day become a cheat week. Like honestly, I don't really believe in like cheat days. I just don't think that's
like a good mentality to have towards fitness or like dieting. So I think it's just like having balance throughout your day and like having alternatives in your diet that you actually look forward to eating. All those things are so important. And I think that once you are able to find that balance and then you're also able to like work out consistently, that's when you start to see the results that you've always wanted. So for my next point, how I'm able to stay in shape year round, or how I'm able to maintain my fitness year round, is that I make sure to work out 4 to 5 times per week. Recently, it's been more around 4 times per week, and I've been okay with that because I've had other commitments and things that have taken priority in my life, so I'm okay with that. But I do believe that in order to have any type of progress in the gym, you have to be working out consistently. And I think this is so obvious, but people tend to overlook this fact. And I see a lot of people who just work out like 2-3 days a week. And honestly, I think you could get away with 3 days. I think a lot of studies have shown that like 3 days is beneficial. Honestly, like anything is better than nothing. But if you actually want to see progress and like you actually want to develop your muscles and like get into a physique that you're proud of, I don't think there's any way around like skipping the time that you have to put in. So when I first started working out, I was doing like 5-6 days a week, and honestly that was too much. I think 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 is a lot more sustainable. And I just find personally that I feel better when I'm doing at least 4 days a week. So if you're doing 3, I think that's a good start. But if you could push it up to 4, I think that is even better, because at that point you're working out more days during a week and then you're not. And like I always say and emphasize, it doesn't have to be like a perfect workout. It doesn't have to be super intense. Just get into the gym and do something. Like even if you're doing less sets and like it's a quicker workout, let's say your usual workout's like an hour, hour and a half. Let's say this one's like 45 minutes, 35 minutes, like your last workout of the week. That's okay. And I think like as you continue to progress and as you get more efficient, it's normal for your workouts to actually be faster. But I definitely think that like if you want to like see any type of progress, you have to be working out at least, I want to say 4 to 5, but I know like you can get away with 3 to 4. And there's this great saying that I found where it basically goes, once you're exercising regularly, the hardest thing is to stop it. And I find that to be so freaking true, because like honestly, like I feel unwell, like I feel off if I don't go to the gym during the week, or if I'm doing nothing all day, and like I just feel like I have to do something. I have to put myself through some type of physical workout in order to feel like myself. Like it's gotten to the point where it feels like I almost haven't showered or like brushed my teeth if I don't work out. And I think that's so true. Like once you get into the rhythm and it becomes a part of you, it's really hard to stop, and it just becomes part of who you are, and it just becomes ingrained into your personality and part of your routine. And I think that's the point where you want to work towards. So that's why I always say that you don't have to like be doing the perfect workout or be at maximum intensity all the time, but I just think that making it a part of your regular routine to the point where it feels off if you didn't work out, I think that's where you want to get to, because at that point nothing's going to stop you from achieving your goal. Okay, so there's a popular quote by James Clear that says, "Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement." And this is a concept that I've really ingrained into my life to the point where I actively take like inventory of my daily habits. I think it's just because I really understand that who I become in the next 5 years is a direct result of the habits that like I'm doing today. And like a little story is that like at work, they give us breakfast and they give us lunch, which is like a nice perk of where I work. And when I first started working there, like I was kind of going crazy. Like they had like muffins and donuts in the mornings and like cranberry juice I used to drink like just to get like my sugar in the morning. And I knew at the time that it wasn't a good idea to be like consuming those things, especially so regularly, like to the point where if I didn't have sugar in the morning, like I was just in a bad mood. And I knew that subconsciously, but at the time, since it was so readily available, it was really hard for me not to eat it. And like a couple months went by, then like I started to realize that like my physique wasn't necessarily like, honestly, my physique wasn't that affected at that point. But I just knew that if I continued doing that in the next couple months and in the next like couple years, like however long I stay at this place, like I'm gonna start to see the results of that bad habit. And that's when like I decided to stop cold turkey. I stopped like eating like the donuts and like like drinking the juice, and like I switched it out for like water and like eggs and like other things and fruit and things that I just knew was like more sustainable and more in line with who I wanted to be in the next couple of years. And I would just encourage you all to also just take inventory constantly of your habits. There's so many things that I think that we fall into and that we do every day. It could be like drinking a soda every day, or like drinking like a super sugary like coffee, or like, I don't know. I don't really drink coffee that much. So I don't know too much about coffee, but like, like the frappuccinos and all that have like all these like sugars and carbs in it. If you do that like all the time, like you have a bunch of those like small bad habits, like they all compound, whether positively or negatively, into who you are in the next 5-10 years. So whatever it is in your life, whether it's like a bad eating habit or like and this trickles down to like so many other parts of your life. It's not just like fitness, it's like also your mentality, your peace, your self-esteem, like the thoughts that you're constantly telling yourself about yourself. Like all these things feed into who you become in the next 5 to 10 years. So take inventory of those things and take control of them, so that you're actively driving the ship to where you want to be next 3 to 5 years, whatever it is. Yeah, so that's the next point, is that I take inventory of my habits, and I make sure that all the things that I do consistently day to day are things that are conducive to who I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. All right, so since I'm in my car, I just want to like talk about like, I guess, a recent life talk, I think is what I'm calling them, where I just kind of talk about things that aren't fitness and like just where my head is at about life and like the things that I want to achieve in life outside of fitness. And I feel like one thing that's really been heavy on my mind has been like just wanting to get a new car. So this is a car that I've had, Mazda 6, man. I've had this car since I was 15 years old, like when I first started driving. This was my dad's old car. He gave it to me. I'm really grateful because like it's held me down for the last like 11 years that I've had it, and it's honestly been such a blessing. Like I had it in college, I had it since I graduated college, throughout high school. Even though it's given me some problems here and there, like it's still like a solid car and like it's still chugging along. Yeah, so like recently I've just been like wanting to get a new car, but there are other things that like in my life that I'm trying to also take care of, like financially, like with student loans, like all these other things. So it's like I just don't know how wise it is to get a new car, knowing that like I have one that's working. I honestly don't drive too much during the week because I take the metro. So I'm like, do I really need a new car, or is it just like my ego that wants to like kind of show off where I am in life, or my ego that believes that I should be further along in life and like should get this as like a quote unquote status symbol. Get a new car is like a quote unquote status symbol. And like I just try to fight that urge because I know that like I have goals that are bigger than just getting a new car. I want to be like financially free. I want to be able to kind of like dictate my life on my own terms. And I'm not sure if a new car is like conducive towards that. If I was to get one, like I don't believe I'd want a car payment. Like it's probably something that I want to save up for and pay for cash. Yeah, I just don't see myself having a car payment. Yeah, if y'all have any advice on that, and if you're like at a similar point in life, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, I'm not against getting a new car, and I think it's something that would benefit me because this car is getting very old. For context, this car is like 2005. It's a 2005 Mazda. So it's done its years and it has a lot of miles. But I think it just kind of goes back to the idea of what are the most important goals? Like what is more important? Having a new car more important than like my financial goals, or can they be done synergistically? Or like what's the wisest way to go about it? Because I never want to be in a position where like I look rich, but I'm not actually rich. I feel like there's a lot of people who like they have a lot of stuff and like they look rich on the exterior, but like if you check their bank account, like they're in debt and like they are struggling financially, and that's just never where I want to be in life. So it's definitely something that I'm trying to like use wisdom to maneuver, and not something I want to rush into. But yeah, definitely something that's been heavy on my mind the last couple months.
Just came back. Look who's sleeping on my bed. Messing up everything, man. Look at you.
By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. This is a quote by Benjamin Franklin, and this leads into my last point, which is that to stay in shape year-round, I make sure that I meal prep every weekend. And to be honest, recently I haven't been as good at this. And in that way, I've been setting myself up for failure, because during the week, if I don't meal prep, then I end up eating out a lot more. And I'm not staying in line with my goal of eating clean 80% of the time. So to mitigate that, I think the best thing to do is to just meal prep your meals. And I know this could be kind of difficult to do, especially if you have like busy weekends like I do, but you gotta find the time to like meal prep. And there's a lot of great recipes that I find on YouTube and other things. If you guys want like links to those recipes and things that I think are nutritious and also quick and easy to make, then I can do that. But I found that in order for me to stay consistent, I have to have some type of meal prep that I make the week before, or I make the weekend before, that I can eat throughout the week. And I know for some people this could be difficult because a lot of people don't like eating the same thing every day. But for me, that's honestly not a problem. Like, as long as it tastes good, I could eat the same thing every day. But whatever it is for you, you have to find that balance. So whether it's you have to meal prep a couple different meals that last like a week or two, then go ahead and do that. You have to create a systemized approach to this fitness thing, because if not, then it'll be all haphazard and all over the place, and you'll never really have a good way of measuring your progress and staying consistent. So for context, in reference to the eating the same thing every day thing, for 2 years, I kid you not, for 2 years I ate the same exact thing. And I do not advise this, because I now cannot eat that meal at all. Like, just the thought of it is like scary to me. But yeah, I ate like chicken and rice every day for 2 years while I was in school, and veggies every single day. Like at least like 5 days out of the week. Like, that's what I was eating. And it was great because I knew what I was eating every day, and like it was easy to stay. And I think I ate it for lunch and dinner. Like, it was something crazy. But it was good because I knew what I was putting into my body, and I knew that I was hitting my like macro goals every single day. The only thing is that like it brought a lot of monotony into my food, and like even though it was weird, like it always tasted good, and I really had no problem with it because I did it for such a long time. But in terms of sustainability, I think it might be a better approach to switch it up every once in a while and you know, try different recipes. But like I was in school, so I didn't have that much leeway and didn't have that much time, so I just did what was simple. But yeah, meal prep. Learn some recipes that you are good at and that you actually enjoy and look forward to eating. So that's so important. Make sure that you're looking forward to eating the food, because it'll make it that much easier to stick with it. Okay guys, so that's everything. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Like, you have no idea. I am a small channel just trying to like get off the ground and spread some positivity in the world. And like each view, like I appreciate it. Each comment, each like I really do appreciate. I read all the comments, even though there's only like 2 or 3. So honestly, that's not that big a deal. But like I do appreciate it, guys. And if you found any value in this video, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if there's anything else you guys want to hear me talk about, go ahead and drop some ideas in the comments. Yeah. All right, you guys have a great day. Peace.